product, and I will test the software product, and then I'll write a review of the software product that I'm testing. However, today I'm taking a look at a new training by Mario Brown. So I decided to do things a little bit different. What I decided to do today was invite Mario to come and talk to us and explain to us how he got started, what he does online, and how this training is going to be able to help you. So Mario, thank you for taking the time to come and have a chat with me.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm pumped, provide some value and let your people know what the benefits are of the product.
So Mario, I just started talking to you probably, about 4 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. I didn't really know you that long. So I'm actually curious myself. How exactly did you get started in the IM business?
Yeah, thanks for asking me that. So basically, I'm going to give you the short version. I was born in the States, but grew up in Germany in a foster home. Long story short, my mom was always addicted to drugs, and that's how I ended up in the foster home. But now fortunately things work out. We have a great relationship. And when I was about 24, so I went from Germany to Ecuador, lived there for 7 months, and was running out of cash. And the cheapest ticket to the States was Miami because it's all the way in the south. So I took a plane to Miami, ended up there with my backpack, and after about 2 days, I found a job in South Beach in a hotel, working the front desk. And I'm just really going to give you like the short version right now. After 3 months, I had enough money to buy a laptop. And after a couple of weeks, just wasting time watching movies, I said, hey, look, let's do something with my life here. And true story, man, I went to Google and I said how to make money online. And that's literally how I got started. It was in 2008, the end of 2008, I think. And I wish it was, all like roses and sunshine after that. But you know how it is as an internet marketer, man. The journey is like this. So there were a lot of struggles and, shiny object syndrome, getting overwhelmed and all this stuff. But once I made my first sale, Brad, I was at the Warrior Forum back then. I never looked back. I jumped on it like a dog, and I just kept producing products, live events, coaching programs, and, just never looked back.
It's funny because I made my first sale as well on the Warrior Forum, and, I was actually not thinking that there was even a lot of money at IM at first. I thought it was kind of like a gimmick thing. And I started making my first money, on the Warrior Forum, and I was like, oh, wow, there's actually money in this. And then JVZoo picked me as for product of the day one time, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of money in this.
Yeah.
Thing. I never looked back then after that. That was 2 years ago. I ended up quitting my job as a developer, and this is what I do. But I think what people need to realize is the one thing that everybody always keeps saying is that they stuck with it. They tried, they didn't give up, and most importantly, they took action. That's the thing. You actually have to take action and put in the effort, because it's not a get-rich-quick thing. It's a business, right?
Yeah, and that's really a good point. That's actually the biggest difference that I teach my students, is that once you stop treating it as a hobby and you start actually treating it like a serious business that can pay for your lifestyle, take care of your loved ones, help you get those dreams, whatever it is. For everyone, it's different. Traveling the world, paying the college for your kids or something like that. You got to be dead serious about it. Too many people, they dabble in it, and they play around and they're surprised it's not working. Also here on my whiteboard, I always have this up, this is kind of like my mantra, massive imperfect action, where a lot of my students, man, the problem is they want to do this book, they want to do the product launch, they want to do their first live event, whatever it is, and they always think that it has to be perfect. And they think they're not ready yet. So they always postpone. And I teach imperfect action. So my first product on Warrior Forum, man, I got to tell you, was terrible in terms of the presentation of it. My first live event, nobody showed up. My first webinar, it was terrible. But you know what? You gain experience, you get momentum, and then you get a little bit of confidence with every little step, and then boom, before you know, let's say half a year, 1 year, depending on how fast you are, before you know, you're doing those webinars, you're doing those promotions, you get part of the day, you're making money, and then just, everything changes kind of.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I mean, even like I do software. Honestly, the first software that I sold in the Warrior Forum, I would kind of be, not to sound horrible or like I was doing bad work back then, but I don't think I would want to put my name on it now.
Yeah.
The first sales page, I made it myself. I mean, it was atrocious. I mean, I don't know how JVZoo picked it as product of the day, where they were just throwing me a bone or something because they felt bad for me, I guess, But like you said, you make a little money, and that actually gives you the confidence and the ability to do better, because you can build on your success then.
Yeah, it's all about confidence. I mean, if there's one thing why I think some people succeed and some don't, it's confidence. And how do you build confidence? It's a whole different topic. But it starts with doing something, even little steps, getting a little bit of momentum, surrounding yourself with the right people. I'm a huge believer in audiobooks personally. So because, you know, reading a book is like takes time, but audiobook when I'm in the gym, when I drive in the car, got some Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, you know, Les Brown, more business specific books from internet marketers. And I think that's how it starts. It's all about confidence. If you don't have confidence to put yourself out there and put your product out there, it's not going to work. And I always tell people, look, show me a website with a payment button where someone can give you money right now. And you would think it's common sense, right? Like, but I'm telling you, if you don't have a website with a payment link where someone can give you money, you can't make any money. It sounds like common sense. So I ask my students, okay, show me your website. And they're like, oh, I don't have it up yet. Or show me your sales page. This page, they don't have it up yet. So it's no surprise that they're not making money. So you have to learn those things, building a squeeze page, building a membership site, your sales page, and that builds confidence, you know. But you have to go from, I think the biggest takeaway, man, if I have one thing for your people here to share, is that you have to go from consumer to producer. You have to start actually doing things, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a real simple thing that I think a lot of people don't realize sometimes. Consumers spend money, producers make money.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't buy tools to help their business, because I mean, every business needs a tool.
I do.
You know, you should be producing something. Otherwise, you're just a consumer, you know.
Yeah, I still consume. The thing what you want to do is once you consumed it, you obviously want to execute. And I think that is where a lot of people go wrong. They focus on too many things. But if you just take one and you jump on it like a dog and you get the best program in the business on that topic, and then, you know, the way I buy products is I buy them according to what I'm working on right now. So if I don't know, if I'm working on, I don't know, you know, doing an Amazon best-selling book, I would buy everything I can find on how to be, you know, create a book, how to make it engaging, how to come up with book titles, how to make it a bestseller. But then you have to obviously execute. And I'm sure, you know, that's what you encourage your people to do. I think you have to have first clarity on what you want to do, and then you jump on that. So like yourself, myself, other people, we produce products based on our experience that are really helpful, they're high quality. And it's up to the person to decide, okay, this is what I want to do. I trust that guy. Let me get it. And then execute, though. Like in my trainings, you've seen some of them. I always get very inspirational on them. There must be a section of mindset where, you know, I basically kick them in the butt and make sure that they actually execute and not just have it collect dust on the hard drive.
Okay, so about your training, now you've given me access to it already. I've already looked at it, so I've already have an idea about what it is and how it works. But why don't you walk us through it and, you know, give the people watching the video a little bit of an insight on what the training is, how it's going to help them.
Yeah, sure. Imagine it like a university for anyone who wants to master online marketing. So I've been doing this for about 8 years right now. And like I said, it's been a roller coaster ride, and I've tried everything you can imagine in the books, from affiliate marketing, CPA marketing, product creation, live events, coaching programs, membership sites, software. I've done it all, and I learned, you know, hard lessons, and a lot of the things that I tried didn't work, and some worked really, really well. So I got together, I recorded everything that's working in my business, and I put it into a really, really comprehensive, like a university online home study course where people can go through it, and they can pick the one that applies most to their business because I cover everything, and they can run with that. So I recommend people, they log in, and if it's membership sites that they want to do, they jump on that module. If it's traffic, they jump on that. If it's coaching programs, they jump on that. Webinars, they jump on that. And it's really everything that I do in my business. Now, in addition to that, Brad, I also invited some of the top guys like Frank Kern, Mike Filsaime, Andy Jenkins to contribute modules in their training. So it's not just me teaching everything I know. I also have some of the top guys who are even on the next level to me in terms of revenue and experience, and they teach their best takeaways, insights, tactics, strategies.
If I'm interested in affiliate marketing, I can get information on affiliate marketing in this training. And I'll be honest, like everybody even saying this, I got the review access like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I haven't gone through a tenth of the videos because there's so many of them involved.
It's a lot.
A ton of videos. I actually started looking at them, and I started looking at the modules. I think there's like, what, 6 modules or 7 modules?
Yeah.
And then each module has a whole bunch of videos. It's broke down into individual sections. Like, wow, there's a lot here. And I mean, truthfully, I didn't go through them all yet. But so if somebody's interested in affiliate marketing, that's in there for them. Is product launching covered at all in there?
Yeah, anything that you can imagine that I do. So we got list building in there, product launching, product creation. We got webinars, we got coaching programs, we got what else? Traffic. Specifically Facebook. I share how to put your ebook together, make it a best-selling book on Amazon. Frank Kern is teaching about consulting. I interview him. James Malchik is teaching about speaking, if that's something people want to do. I have Mike Filsaime teaching how to create an irresistible offer. So there's anyone who's interested in online marketing in any way, shape, or form in terms of being an affiliate or product creator, a vendor, doing low ticket launches, high ticket launches, membership sites. You know, I had a software that was $147 a month that people had to pay to access it. And I learned everything you can learn in terms of keeping people engaged, you know, retention rate, keeping people active and getting them to use the software or the program. So everything is in there. So anyone interested in online marketing, making money online, it's a really good fit. Now, it is a lot of videos, like you said, depending on which product in the funnel they get. But here's my biggest takeaway for you is there's something called just-in-case learning and just-in-time learning. So what most people do, Brad, is they jump in and they just want to learn everything just in case they need it. What you have to do is you have to do just-in-time learning, meaning if you're working on a membership site right now, you log into my product and you jump on the membership module. If you want to do Facebook traffic right now, you jump in and you jump on Facebook traffic like a dog, you implement, execute, and go with it. So there's a big, you know, framework. Just-in-time learning is the secret to getting the most out of courses and books. It's like the 80-20 rule.
You know, and I think that, like, there's almost like a process. When I look at, like, marketers, even myself and how my business is going, there's almost like a process that everybody seems to be following. Like, you start off, you do product launches, usually like low ticket to mid ticket product launches. Then you build up a list, and then you do affiliate marketing, and then you go to higher ticket products. Then you build some membership. And if you notice, it seems like everybody's following these steps. Then eventually you get to coaching when you're in the top tier. So it's almost like, you know, you could follow these things, these trainings that you're doing, because as your business progresses, because you're going to want to do the more and more things.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And, you know, most people, I guess, start out with affiliate marketing because it's the easiest. And I'm a big fan of that. I teach that in the course. And, you know, you don't have to worry about the payment processing. You don't have to worry about the product. You just promote and you get the commission. And later on, though, you realize, you know what? Now you're building someone else's business. How about you create the product and you have affiliates going out there, do all the hard work, doing the Facebook traffic, the SEO and stuff like that. Now they're building your empire. And then eventually, I personally believe it's a hybrid model where you want to do some affiliate marketing, you want to do some launches, you want to do some coaching, a little bit of everything, have multiple sources of revenue. And that seems where you are headed, you know. Recently, you had a really successful launch. I see you as an affiliate marketer. Maybe you're going to, I'm not sure if you're doing coaching. So it seems like a natural progression for a lot of us.
Well, yeah, it's like what you said, diversity. I mean, all your eggs aren't in one basket then. And you're right, I do affiliate marketing, I do product launches. I do maybe like 4 product launches a year.
Yeah.
I do affiliate marketing through the whole year. I got a membership site where I, you know, teach what I do, and I'm working on a coaching program. You know, once you start making some money at it, it's just like you want to do it all. You know what I mean?
I hear you. And one thing that I wanted to add to the training real quick is that I've never shared it before. I was never sold before. At the time when we did it live with Frank Kern, with Mike, with Andy, we charged $1,000. And, you know, I wanted to keep it closed doors. I didn't want to have it in the hands of thousands and thousands of people. But for this promotion for 3 days, I decided, you know what, let's make it more affordable. You know, it's not even going to be a fraction of the $9.97 that we charged back then. And for 3 days, I'm going to make it available for the public so they can jump on it, dive in and get training from Frank Kern. Like usually now, if you want to work with Frank Kern, it's like $17,000 just to get started. My one-on-one coaching program is $2,500 a month. But there in Online Marketing Mastery, for, you know, pennies on the dollar, you can get basically everyone's insights in one go. And I think, you know, when I see a deal, I know it's a good deal. Obviously, it's my product, so I'm biased, but you've seen some of my products. You know, it's solid. I don't put, you know, crap out there. That's not how you build a long-term business.
You know, a lot of people don't realize like how valuable, I think that, I should say a lot of people don't realize, but some people don't realize how valuable the information is. I mean, there's actually a marketer that I wanted to talk to, and I'm doing okay, but I want to get better just like everybody else. But there's a marketer that I wanted to talk to. I wanted to have a little conversation with him. I asked if we can do a Skype chat. I'm not going to say who he is because I don't want to put him on the spot. But he's like, yeah. He's like, sure, we can talk, Brett. It's $1,000 for an hour conversation. I'm like, really? He's like, well, he's like, I'm going to tell you my information. He goes, it took me years to learn it.
Yeah.
That's value, you know. And, you know, it's just, and at first I was like a little turned off. I was like, that's crazy, man. You're going to charge me to talk to you. But then I started thinking, you know what? My lawyer charges me to talk to him. My mechanic charges me to talk to him. My accountant charges me to talk to him because their information is valuable. You know, so when you were saying it was $1,000 to go to the event, I mean, that was probably, even then, that was probably a good deal, you know, to be honest with you. To get all that information from all these different marketers is, you know, it's worth money. Let me ask you a question now. people just getting in, they're just getting started. There's a lot of information in this training course. What would you suggest somebody, they've never done anything before, they're just trying to get going? What's the first thing that they should do? They buy your course, they open it up. Where do they go? How do they start?
Yeah, sure. So I would say they should watch the introduction first, because in the introduction I talk a little bit about mindset clarity. Like, one thing that I've seen with a lot of people is they jump into business, but they don't even have a vision for where they want to go. They don't even know how much exactly they want to make, why they're doing it. So the first module, the introduction, is about an hour. I really recommend that they watch that, because in there I talk about how to get the most out of the training, how to make sure that they're going to be able to execute. And I have also a different session on mindset that they can watch, where I talk about productivity and different hacks that you can do on a daily basis to get the most out of a product and really make sure that you actually use it, implement it, execute. So I would recommend maybe check the introduction and productivity training first, so that you have the mindset ready, and then jump on whichever topic the person wants to focus on. If they want to build a membership site, definitely jump on that. If they want to create their first product, jump on that. If they want to build a list fast, which usually I recommend, they should jump on the list building module. Excuse me. So it depends really on the person. I would say start with introduction, do the productivity, and then just pick the one. Some people want to do coaching programs. You know, Frank Kern in the training talks about coaching programs. I have a session on that. They can jump on that. So they can really pick and choose. It's like a university, and you pick which path you want, basically.
When are you launching? When does the launch start?
We are this Saturday, August 1st, and it's only 3 days. We have a pre-launch webinar on at 11 a.m. We go live at noon this Saturday, August 1st. And again, there's going to be a big countdown time on top, just because we want to reward action takers. So, you know, we always start at the lowest price, and then every day the price goes up a little bit. There's going to be an early bird coupon, but that's only for people who take action in the beginning. I always want to reward action takers. So this Saturday, actually, and depending on when people watch this, you know, August 1st.
So are you going to be giving that, are you going to be giving the coupon, the early bird coupon, on the webinar?
Yeah, we're going to do that on the webinar. And, you know, for selected JVs, we might be able also to hand it out to you guys. But usually we don't do this. So we recommend that people jump on the webinar. But, you know, if we can still talk about it, I want to make sure that you do something, you know, also really cool for your subscribers, of course, you know, and I let it to you with all the bonuses and stuff like that. But we always want to make sure you, myself, if you want to build a long-term business, you always want to over-deliver. So Saturday, early bird coupon, 3 days. Once it hits Monday, midnight Eastern time, it's done. And I'm known for really, like, I'm sitting there on the computer. Once it hits, like, you know, midnight, I change the price, it goes up, and people lose out. And then we always get those emails from people, oh, I missed out, this and that. But it is what it is. You got to be fair. You got to be ethical with integrity, and, you know, you have to keep the price high. So that's why we encourage people to take action on day one.
Yeah, I know that you're like me when it comes with the scarcity and stuff. It's not a false scarcity. And I do the same thing on all my launches. I'll get an email from people, usually a day or two later. They'll say, I missed out, I didn't get it, or whatever. And I'll say, look, here's the thing. If I give it to you, that means I lied to everybody else, and I can't do that.
Right.
So yeah, I know you're like that too, because you know, I've seen where like 12:01, your timer, you know, ends and price goes up, or the offer comes down, or, you know, whatever you say is going to happen happens.
You have to do that. And sometimes, you know, I don't know if you're having dinner, you know, with your wife or something. It happened once, because I'm on the West Coast. So for me, it's 9 p.m. Then I was like 60 minutes late, but that's like the max. Usually I'm at home at 12:01, switch it. And that's how you have to do it. You know, you have to be honest about, and with integrity, like you said, about the scarcity that you use. And I don't want this in the hands of thousands and thousands of people, to be honest. You know, I don't want to devalue my products. I can do a special like now, 3 days. I mean, this is training with Frank Kern, Mike Fossey, myself. You got to keep it valuable, you know. So I just do it 3 days, and then the deal is over, basically.
So I didn't look at the funnel at all yet. I was over at the JV page, but I didn't look at the funnel. Do you mind if we talk about the funnel a little bit quick?
Yeah, sure. So basically, on the front end product, I'm going to include some of the best topics. So I'm going to include the training with Frank Kern. I'm going to include the training with Mike Fossey. I'm going to include the training on traffic and using the traffic to build a list. So all this sexy, good stuff that people really want, it's the fastest way to make money, is going to be in the front end. And then on the OTO and OTO number 2, I have some of the other modules in there that are maybe not as sexy, but still very powerful when it comes, for example, like I said, you know, turning yourself into a best-selling author, which is awesome, because if you do that once, now for the rest of your life, you can be introduced as a best-selling author, for example, you can charge more that way. The module on coaching and coaching programs and things like that. I had Chris Farrell speaking on membership sites, so I'm going to put that in one of the OTOs, and then OTO number 2 is going to be even more modules. I have like 40 hours of training. I mean, we brought the best of the best to this training, and they all taught and taught, so it's like an amazing amount of training. And I wanted to charge more, as you know, in the beginning, but I decided why not make it more affordable and break it up. Not everyone needs like 100 hours of training. So front end, again, the best, hottest topics with Frank Kern, Mike Hussein, OTO number 1, OTO number 2, going to be additional modules. And when people go through the funnel, they can see which modules exactly are in each product.
What is, do you mind if I ask you the pricing on the front end and the OTOs, or are they not?
It's going to be, right now I have it set to 37 to 47. So I can't give you, it's going to be one of the two.
Okay.
Usually we want to make it as affordable as possible for the audience.
You know, I see that a lot where people will say something like, "Oh man, I don't like the OTOs. I don't like how there's OTOs." And I think that you make a really good point with OTOs, though. By breaking a product up into OTOs, what you're doing is you're making it more affordable, and people can only buy as much as they particularly need. You know, whereas if, you know, like say maybe if I just want to learn how to build membership sites and the whole product is $200, you know, then I have to buy the whole product just to learn how to make membership sites. But when you break it up into OTOs, that's actually a good thing and a benefit to the customers, because now I could just buy what I need and not have to pay for stuff that I don't necessarily need.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's why we broke it up. So there's nothing I can add to it. You said that really well.
All right, I'm gonna do something. I don't do interviews a lot. I'm gonna do something that Han Fan does to me all the time right when we end. Real quick, one tip that you would give people just getting started, if you had to just say one thing for them that's going to help them out, what would it be?
Yeah, it's really adapting the concept of massive imperfect action. You know, I could give them like a cool tool right now or something like that, but if they come home and they sit on the couch and watch football and don't implement, nothing against football, but you know, you see the point that I'm making, then it's not going to help. So if there's one thing that helped me the most and my secret to success, it's really imperfect action, meaning that now that you've decided that you're going to get into my course, you really implement it. Even if it's not perfect, your first launch, your first squeeze page, your first webinar, it doesn't matter. You just have to get it out there, get a little bit of success, and now you get momentum, you get some results, and now you can improve it on the fly. Like, perfectionism is the biggest killer of hopes and businesses. So that's the biggest tip that I have.
Like the old Nike commercials, just do it, right?
Do it, yeah.
All right, Mario. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I won't keep you any longer. I know you got a lot of things to do with your launch coming up, but I appreciate you taking the time to have a conversation with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and see you guys inside the product. Peace out.